Let me say this slowly, and I want you to actually hear it. If you believe you're not alone, if you think someone will always be there, if you assume your family has everything under control, stop for a moment and think again. I'm standing outside right now. Cold morning here in New Jersey, out in the Pine Barrens. My dog wanted a walk, so here we are. Cold air has a way of making you honest. It clears your head, strips things down to what's real. And the truth is this: as we get older, life doesn't get easier, it gets quieter. And sometimes it gets very lonely. I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm saying it because I've lived long enough to see patterns. The same ones, over and over again. People hit 50 and think the hard part is behind them, career mostly settled, marriage stable, kids grown. They think the rest is just cruising, but that's not how life works. After 50, changes start coming fast, not always dramatic, sometimes quiet, sometimes slow, but permanent. Health issues show up without warning, energy fades, memory slips a little, and suddenly simple things feel heavier. Relationships change too, not always because of anger, sometimes just distance, sometimes silence. I live in a 55 and older community. I see real life up close, not the polished version people like to show. I see spouses pass away. I see marriages end after 40 years. I see people sitting alone at night staring at the television, not really watching anything. And what shocks me most is how unprepared people are, not emotionally, practically. So many couples divide responsibilities. One runs the household, the other handles the money, and it works until it doesn't. I've watched people lose their spouse and suddenly realize they don't know where the money comes from. They don't know the passwords. They don't know which bills exist. They don't know what insurance is active. They're grieving, and at the same time, they're completely lost. That combination can break someone. I worked for Prudential Life Insurance when I was younger. I answered calls about claims, real people, real grief. I can't count how many times I had to tell someone the policy had lapsed. Once it lapses, that's it. No fixing it, no appeal, no second chance. Imagine hearing that after losing the person you built your life with. That moment changes people. And it's not just about money. I had a close friend. She was my English professor back in college. Brilliant woman, independent. We stayed friends for decades. In her 60s, her husband sat her down one morning and told her he didn't love her anymore. No warning, no buildup. Later, she found out he'd been having an affair with someone she never suspected. He left, started a new life. She was left alone. After decades together, she didn't see it coming, not even a hint. It shook her sense of reality, her confidence, her mental health. She eventually rebuilt her life. But starting over in your 60s is a different kind of hard. That's the part people ignore. Stability is fragile. I see it again and again. Men who lose their wives and don't know how to cook a meal. Women who lose their husbands and don't know how to access their own finances. It's not stupidity. It's trust without preparation. And then there are the kids. I wish I could tell you they always show up. They don't. I see people in their 80s completely alone, kids busy with their own lives, their own marriages, their own struggles. Sometimes an adult child is going through divorce. Sometimes addiction enters the family. Sometimes financial pressure takes over. Life piles on. And suddenly, the help you expected isn't there. I've also seen the darker side. Parents placed into care facilities, finances quietly taken over. Next thing you know, the money is gone. I've seen sons buying expensive toys while mom sits in a room waiting for someone to visit. That stays with you. So here's what I'm saying. Don't live in fear, but don't live in fantasy. You need to know your life, all of it. Where the money is, how the bills get paid, what insurance exists, who is listed on what. You need to know how to function as an individual. Have real conversations with your spouse, not arguments, conversations, full disclosure, no secrets. Have a plan B, a living situation you can manage alone, a financial setup you understand, an attorney you trust. Independence is not loneliness, it's protection. And one last thing, This is for people in happy relationships. Stay connected to people who live alone. We learn things, we adapt. When life hits hard, we know how to survive it. So if you're over 50, make independence a goal. Know your life inside and out. Be prepared, not paranoid, prepared, because everything else, the relationships, the support, the help, that's icing on the cake. And icing melts. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day.